Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diana and I post weekly mom content. And in today's video, I'm going to show you what I did for my daughter's 9th birthday. We had a Catch Teenieping birthday, and I'm going to show you how I DIY'd this theme and tried to bring the Catch Teenieping vibe to life. So the first thing we're getting started with is the cake. I'm cutting out my parchment paper for my cake pans, and I'm also greasing the pans. I always use parchment paper on the bottom because it basically guarantees that my cake's not going to stick. There's nothing worse than the bottom of your cake sticking, and it's so sad when you pull it out and there's a big old chunk left in your pan. So always use parchment paper if you can remember. This is a really easy cake recipe that I'm making. Today we're doing a fun fetty cake. For this recipe, you add all the dry ingredients together and then all the wet ingredients together, and then you combine the two, and you don't need an electric mixer. It all comes together really quickly with a whisk, but just make sure that you use room temperature ingredients. I will have the recipe down in the description for you. And for the sprinkles, we're using Rainbow Jimmy sprinkles. These hold their color really well, and you don't want to use some types of sprinkles because it's going to make like a muddy, streaky mess. So always use Rainbow Jimmies if you can remember to. These just really hold up well in the cake, and they always look so pretty. And there's also lots of color combinations out there. Once my cakes come out, I only let them cool about 5 minutes, and then I wrap them in plastic and they go straight into the freezer. I know opinions are going to be mixed on this, but for me, and from watching a lot of different bakers, this is a trick that I've seen a few times, and I do think it helps retain some of the moisture in cakes. Next, we're working on the frosting, and I'm making my favorite frosting, which is Swiss meringue buttercream. All we're doing for a Swiss meringue buttercream is heating sugar with egg whites until the sugar dissolves and it reaches about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it goes into the mixer on high until we have stiff glossy peaks. Then we add in our butter and flavoring, which is today going to be vanilla. But it's actually really easy. I think it seems it seems like a difficult recipe, but it's really not. And my one tip is for you to stick your mixing bowl and your whisk in the freezer before you add your hot egg whites. This brings down the temperature of the meringue just a smidge and will help you avoid some of the troubleshooting that you usually encounter when making Swiss meringue. I achieved this soft pink frosting color by using AmeriColor gel food coloring. I'll link it down below for you. This is the color soft pink. To assemble the cake, I placed some frosting in a piping bag, and I used that bag to pipe the dam for my jam for the middle of the cake, and also to help me fill in any cracks, which I will show you. I put my layers upside down, that way the cake's more level. I put a layer of frosting, then I piped the dam for the jam, then I added the jam on top, and then goes the second layer. Again, we placed it upside down because the bottom's very flat, and we just repeat the process. And these cakes were in the freezer for about an hour, so they're nice and frozen, and it makes assembling the cake really, really easy. The frosting kind of starts to harden up as you're frosting, which acts as glue, and it just makes making the cake so much easier. You don't have a sloppy, floppy cake that's like wanting to fall over. Everything wants to stay together. It helps the jelly harden up. It just helps everything get very, very firm, which makes decorating the cake, frosting it, everything so much easier. And here's where that piping bag of frosting comes into play again. As you can see, there's lots of little cracks and gaps everywhere because the cakes aren't perfect. So I use that piping bag to fill in any cracks or gaps that I see. Once those gaps are filled, now I'm doing the crumb coat. And this is important because cake is kind of like a sponge and there's lots of little holes. So with this first very, very, very thin layer of frosting, I'm just coating it, I'm filling in all the little tiny holes and gaps, and then it goes back into the fridge and it'll get nice and hard. And then when we go to put on our final layer of frosting, it's gonna be so much easier. While that is hardening up in the fridge, I'm really quickly making my ice cream base, and I will have this in the description for you as well. So now it's been about 30 minutes and the cake is nice and firm again. For this next layer of frosting, I add a lot of frosting and I just really push it all around, let it fall off the edges. And then I do it again to the sides and I just really pack it on there. It's probably 1/2 inch thick at least. And then when we go in with our bench scraper, it's a lot easier, and I just feel like making sure you have a thick layer of frosting is key for this next step of scraping the cake. Now it's time to go in with the bench scraper, and we're gonna try to get these sides as straight as we can. The key to smooth sides on your cake is the way that you hold your bench scraper. If you hold it perpendicular to your cake, or you hold it at a 90-degree angle, it's going to scrape the frosting off in a very aggressive way, and it's almost impossible to get your frosting smooth like that. But if you hold it at a 15 or 30-degree angle and it more hugs the cake, it smooths the sides and takes off a little bit versus like completely wiping your cake off. So 90 degrees against the cake is going to scrape off a lot. 15 or 30 degrees against your cake is going to hug it and make it smooth. Smoothing the top of the cake is always the scariest part for me, but because the cakes are frozen or they're very, very cold, the frosting's actually very firm, so swiping the top is not actually as scary as it seems, but you want to start from the outside and pull into the center. That'll make the top edges of your cake very sharp and straight. I was using the ruler as a long straight edge to mark the 8 points on top of my cake where I'm going to add little swirls. To pipe these, I used a Wilton 1M piping tip, which is a big star tip. And then of course we have to add sprinkles on top. Don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Now I'm moving on to the cake toppers. I printed these out onto photo paper so that they were really glossy, and then I had my Cricut cut them out, but you don't have to have a Cricut for this step, you could just cut them out by hand. And then I'm laminating them so that they don't react to any moisture or anything. When I made them on my Cricut, I used the sticker feature, and I think I chose the thin border setting. Once they were laminated and cut out, then I went ahead and hot glued them to different colored straws. Apologies. Holding back, I got history. Yeah. But the way you've been... For these lollipop cake toppers, I made these about a week before using marshmallow fondant, and then I dyed it into 3 different colors. So I divided half a batch of the marshmallow fondant into 4 sections, left 1 white, dyed 1 pink, dyed 1 blue, and 1 yellow. And then I just braided it in different combinations and then rolled it into a swirl just like a lollipop. And then I stuck a straw into the bottom, and making them a week before, it allowed them to harden up so that they'd be ready for the cake. I also added some Tylose powder. I don't know exactly how the Tylose powder works, but I know that for marshmallow fondant, it helps it, I think, harden, but I added that and it really did make the texture of the fondant like a really nice for molding and shaping, and it dried nice and hard. And now it's time to add all the toppers onto the cake. This was a little nerve-wracking, of course, because you're not sure how everything's gonna look, and it's hard to see if the placement is correct or not, but it came out really cute and everything went on just fine. The recipe for the marshmallow fondant and the Tylose powder will be down in the description, as well as this glitter that I used. When I bought this glitter, I got it at Walmart for just a few bucks. On Amazon, it's a little more expensive, but Walmart didn't show that glitter anymore, just the little packets that you can pour into drinks. I also tried to replicate those lollipops using store-bought fondant, but it just didn't work for me. I don't know if I was supposed to use water to try to make them stick, but after I made the different colors and I was trying to braid them together, they would not stick together at all. and so there's no way to make a lollipop if they wouldn't stick together. So the store-bought fondant did not work for me, but the marshmallow fondant worked beautifully. Now I'm adding some table scallops to this tablecloth. I actually bought a tablecloth that was too big. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what size tablecloth I need, but I totally got one that was too big. But instead of hassling with the return and everything, I figured I would just try to add some little scallops and it wouldn't hang quite so low. But I really liked the way it looked, and I actually might do it for more birthdays. For the backdrop, I chose this little bakery scene. For the Teenieping, since there's not a lot of decor, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do, how I was going to make this theme kind of come to life, and I thought I would try and maybe recreate like a scene. A lot of the episodes take place in the bakery, so I thought I would try that, and I was able to find that little bakery background, and I think it was perfect. Now I'm moving on to the balloon garland. So I did this one a little different than I normally do. I usually just use the balloon garland tape, but this time I tried where you make the different little clusters. I feel like the hardest part was getting the clusters connected together at the end, but once that was done, I did really like the look of it. It's definitely a little cuter than just using the balloon garland tape. Now I'm hanging the balloon garland, and I follow the same general layout when I do my birthday parties. I always have the backdrop right here, and then I do a balloon garland. So I already have on the wall these command strips that I just leave up here, and then I hang the balloon garland with fishing line. And then the next thing I'm adding is these little foil hearts. I was trying to think Teenieping, and of course what came to mind was Heartsping, the main character. So I tried to add a lot of little hearts. The next portion of this video I think was filmed the day before, so I'm going to go ahead and pop in here and show you what I got Nikki for her birthday. Okay, so I have just a few minutes. I wanted to really quickly show you what I got my daughter for her birthday. I got her a Tamagotchi Uni. She's really been wanting one of these. She has one of the older ones, but it's kind of boring, and this one's like all color, and you can go to like different universes and stuff. And actually, to go with this, there's this Tamagotchi universe, but you have to pay to go to the different worlds. And I bought her like 2 tickets to go to 2 different universes, and one's like a Hello Kitty Sanrio one, and then the other one's like My Berry something, but it's like really cute fruit and stuff. So I got her one of these. I think she'll really love it. Okay, the next thing I got her was, what is this called? This is a Lulu Pop, but this is a Romy doll from the Teenieping show, and it's so freaking cute. She is just gonna love it. And then the next thing I got her another Teenieping. This one is from season 5, and then another one. So look how cute. So cute. So I got her those. And then the last thing I got her was one of these like selfie lights with the stands. It's for the overhead filming, so she can film herself drawing. She's really been wanting to do that, so I went and got her this so she can start filming some of her drawing. So I also bought her a little case for this. It's really cute. I'll have to find it though. This is the paper I found for her. And this one, like little cupcakes. And I found some cute bows. And this is the card I got her. That is so cute. Wherever you go, sunshine follows. One of these candles. I use these candles for every birthday. These are the best. They do like the rainbow lights, and they're so pretty, especially when you turn out the lights. So got her a number 9, and then some more ribbon. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these wrapped so I can check off another thing on my birthday to-do list. Here's that case. Comes with an extra like gummy sleeve, and then the screen protectors, but she can put like her charger and all that stuff in here. So look how cute. cute.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different.
All right, now we're back to the next day again. So to continue with the decorations, I'm adding some of this foil tinsel rope. And this was just a couple days after Christmas, and we did leave our trees up until New Year's. So I thought it would be cute to add a little something to the tree as well. Now I'm finally getting around to finishing this ice cream. I don't know if they make this ice cream attachment for the KitchenAid anymore. I know that there was some issues with them, but if they still have them, I really like mine. It doesn't give me any issues at all, and it makes ice cream really nice. Now this is early the next morning. I didn't get to finish everything that I wanted to the day before, so I'm just going to add some finishing touches. I'm going to add this number 9 foil balloon, as well as some more heart foil balloons. And then I also have one hearts being balloon that I got. And now I'm putting up Romy from the show. This I made with my Cricut. I was a little worried that it'd be hard to put together, but I tried to cut the pieces out with my Cricut in such a way that the chunks were you could easily tell which piece went where. And then I also made sure to print out the image so that I had something to follow when I put it up. But it worked really good. And this also I printed on photo paper, so it came out really glossy and high definition. But this was such a cute little thing, and I want to do this for more birthdays too. Adding a couple finishing touches to this cake. I had made Romy already, but the night before when I was making the cake, I felt like it was too much. And then today when I took another look at it, I was like, no, it's definitely missing something. So I put Romy on the front, and then I had also made those candies, and I thought they were too much too. But then today I decided that that's what the cake needed. So I finished up the cake there, and I think it came out so adorable.
Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away.
So that was everything I did for this Catch Teenieping birthday party. My daughter really loved it, and it was so much fun to do something special for her. I can't believe that my first baby is 9 years old, and she's so beautiful inside and out, and I'm so thankful that I was able to do this for her. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you next time.